Being in the box, first of all, you're in the box together with 80 other people. Yeah, so that's like being in a group with a common purpose, yeah, of in total 81 people. Yeah, so you are one person, and then you have 80 neighbors, very, very close neighbors. Yeah, so this is something that I would imagine causes an interaction. Yeah, there's something goes on in the box. Yeah, and it's like an opportunity, and this is things that people have told me. The feedback that they've told me is that they see it as an opportunity to get in contact with something that maybe they've forgotten a little bit. Yeah, and that's something that they may have lost, some simplicity or some kind of reference, some point of reference. Yeah, because the thing with being exposed to this light, yeah, and to these wavelengths, is that it's totally regular. It's totally. It happens every day at exactly the same time, exactly the same wavelength, and this goes on from one new moon to the next new moon, and it doesn't change at all. It's all it is. In the morning, something happens from very early morning to a certain time, and then around noontime from a certain time to another time something happens, and in the evening from a certain time to another time something specific happens, and it's the same for a whole lunar month, from one new moon to the next new moon. Yeah, and in fact, the box is actually never opened, except on the day before the new moon, or on the new moon day, because then it's people, the newcomers, they then get put into the box, and the people who leave, they are then removed from the box. Yeah, but what the reports have been is that people have found, for some inexplicable reason, they are feeling more balanced. They are feeling more in tune. They are feeling less, let's say, less stressed. Yeah, unexplainably, because it's not like they are told to do anything. It's the only thing that has been added into their life is, well, you're in the box, and you're like subject to this interaction. Yeah, because I think the samples then go into interaction with the colors. The people go into different interaction, because it's actually the case, and we know this from Vedic astrology, that certain people have an affinity for certain colors. Yeah, it's quite easy to tell from the Vedic astrology perspective what colors are good for somebody and what colors are maybe not so good for somebody. But at this point in the program, yeah, the idea was to give everybody all the colors. Yeah, but in segments. Yeah, so spread out over the day. There have been actually reports where people have said, I feel so balanced. Please don't ever take me out of the box. Yeah, I've had this reported actually several times. Yeah, and so at the moment, if we just say it's an enhancement of the quality of life, it's feeling more balanced, more in tune, as an opportunity to, well, because of course the colors are around us all the time. Yeah, we're bathing in light. We're bathing in the rainbow colors. Yeah, in different, depending on where we live, how we live. It's then different parts of the electromagnetic spectrum that we are subjected to. Basically, the grow towards the light, or growing towards the light, the concept basically has two arms. Yeah, there's the general arm where this particular setup is then continued, where people can say, well, just give me a saturation, saturate me with the whole rainbow. Yeah, and let me see how that goes for me. Yeah, and then they can take up a subscription and be involved in that particular part of the of the program, and then they just come for a certain time, and then they leave after some time, and work with that thing and see how they can integrate it into their life and how they can use that information, because basically all we're doing is giving some certain very fundamental color is a very fundamental form of energy, so they can find out for themselves what they can do with it, how it can enhance their lives. In contrast to that, there is a research arm of the program, and the research arm is a bit of a longer term commitment, where we say, well, if you want to be a part of the research arm, then please make a commitment for, say, 2 years, and please be so kind as to give us regular feedback. And the regular feedback means, well, we provide questionnaires. We we have a standard way of acquiring the feedback, and these participants, they have the advantage that we would then be analyzing more deeply which colors they would benefit from more specifically. So we would look in great detail. We would find out, well, what kind of problems do they typically suffer from? What is their astrological constellation? What would a good prescription be for them to enhance their lives? But we need a bit more. We need a bit more time for that. They need to make this commitment, then to participate over a longer period of time. They have a more personalized approach, and they can anticipate that if the problems that they are suffering from are based on color deficiencies, then there's a good chance that they will be helped, and that they will be resolved, these problems, over time, slowly, because it's a very gentle process. It's not a kind of a steam hammer kind of thing. It's a very gentle, very kind of balanced approach.